I feel you all have the right to know that the MPAA would like to make this speech illegal, or would like you to think that it is. Let me explain. The date was May 1st, 2007, but the location was worldwide. Thousands of users of the popular social news website Digg cheered on their beloved founder, Kevin Rose, photo courtesy Digg, as he gave the DMCA, the AACS, and the MPAA the proverbial finger. The Motion Picture Association of America, or MPAA, had gone too far and for far too long. What culminated on that May Tuesday earlier this year has been called the first internet riot, a 21st century Boston Tea Party, and a modern nailing of the 95 Theses on the proverbial door. According to Grant Robertson of Download Squad, in his article, HD DVD Key Fiasco is an example of 21st century digital revolt. He said, "We, digital citizens, commonly referred to by the vulgar term of consumers, have had enough, and were finally and inconsolably fed up." The United States copyright law prohibits a person from duplicating material that they do not possess the rights to. However, copyright law does not make it illegal to make personal copies of a DVD you already own, illegal to record radio onto tape, illegal to put clips of music into YouTube videos, or illegal to show movie clips to students for educational purposes. Fair use is a doctrine incorporated into the Copyright Act of 1976, 17 U.S.C. 107. The heart of the matter lies in the following, courtesy Cornell Law School. Said the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, or research is not an infringement of copyright. Judges have since interpreted this law so as to say that it is legal for a person to copy product he has purchased into another media form, such as ripping a CD to a personal computer or copying a DVD for backup purposes. The MPAA thinks otherwise. Somehow, they seem to interpret the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA, differently than the court do, and somehow they seem to get away with it. They've begun to implement copy protection schemes into some CDs, and every DVD, HD DVD, and Blu-ray disc comes entrenched in heavy copy protection by default. Copy protection schemes, commonly referred to as digital rights management, or just DRM, is software or hardware that prevents a user from copying material such as a CD or DVD. For instance, you can't just put a DVD into your computer and make a copy of it. You have to use special software that lets you do that. Unfortunately, the software to get around this is easily accessible thanks to hackers having cracked the encryption. And the MPAA has since given up in its futile attempt to enforce the protection scheme. The newest formats in the ongoing march of progress are HD DVD and Blu-ray disc. They each hold many times over the data of a single DVD and deliver stunning high-definition content. However, with technological progress through science and research comes bureaucratic regress through corporate greed and malevolence. With one hand, the MPAA brings to the consumer with a smiling face all the wonders of high definition on a silver platter with a hefty price tag by the name of HD DVD and Blu-ray, while the other hand slaps us in the face every time we, the people, want to use our dearly purchased media for perfectly legal purposes. A brand new copy protection scheme has reared its ugly head in every HD DVD and Blu-ray disc, this time under the name of Advanced Access Content System Licensing Administrator, commonly referred to as just AACS. Once again, just as with DVDs, the hacking community took it upon themselves to crack AACS and enable the people to do with their media what they are legally entitled to. It didn't take long before a hacker by the name of Arnazami discovered that a single encryption key could strip the protections off every HD DVD and Blu-ray to date. According to Marcus Yam in his article, AACS Key Censorship Leads to First Internet Riot on the Daily Tech website. And I quote, from perhaps hundreds of articles which surfaced on Digg on the day of May 1st, 2007, 09, F9, 11, 02, 9D, 74, E3, 5B, D8, 41, 56, C5, 63, 56, 88, C0. While it may not sound like much, it may just sound like a gobbledygook of numbers. That number is all it takes to legally use your HD DVD and Blu-ray discs as you please under the terms of fair use. And since it's just a number that enables you to do what you have a legal right to, many bloggers across the internet started posting that number and spreading it around. That is, until the takedown notices started pouring in. The MPAA started sending letters in April to blogs and other websites posting the number, demanding that they remove the offending number, threatening legal action. At this point, a few people began posting the numbers. Digg, a hugely popular social news site, which, according to the BBC article, DVD DRM Row Sparks User Rebellion, accounted for a full 1% of entire US internet traffic at the time. On Digg, users submit news stories and then vote on or dig them to decide what gets shown on the front page. Soon, Digg received one of the MPAA takedown notices, and they began quietly removing user-submitted stories containing the number, and even permanently deleting some user accounts. When users started noticing, Digg CEO Jay Adelson posted the following excerpt on the official Digg blog at 1 p.m. May 1st. We want Digg to continue to be a great resource for finding the best content. However, in order for that to happen, we all need to work together to protect Digg from exposure to lawsuits that could very quickly shut us down. Thanks for your understanding. But according to Andy Greenberg in his article, Digg's DRM Revolt, on Forbes May 2nd, Digg's users were not understanding. The multiple thousands of users of the massively popular site flooded it with news stories containing the code. Perhaps hundreds of stories were submitted, and Digg's system worked against itself as users voted up the anti-censorship stories. And stories cleverly inserting the number into images and phrases to make it impossible to easily track down and remove offending links. Within 4 hours of Adelson's original posting, every single one of the 15 front-page articles on Digg was a reference to the number, many with votes registering in the thousands. Photo courtesy Flickr user Nata2. One user calculated the overall combined number of digs to be in the area of 50,000 digs, according to Marcus Yam. At one point, the site completely collapsed under the strain of such heavy article submission and voting. 8 hours after Adelson's original posting, Kevin Rose posted the following, again on the official Digg blog. He said, "Dig this. After seeing hundreds of stories and reading thousands of comments, you've made it clear. You'd rather see Digg go down fighting than bow down to a bigger company. We hear you, and effective immediately, we won't delete stories or comments containing code, and we'll deal with whatever the consequences may be. If we lose, at least we died trying." Somehow, the MPAA thinks they have the right to keep us from doing what we have a legal right to do. Somehow, the MPAA thinks that they can copyright a number. Somehow, they think that they can get away with interpreting the law how they like, how it's best for them, not how it's meant. But the MPAA is not the law. The AACS is not the police. And the DMCA is no excuse for them to think they are. You, a citizen of both the United States and the World Wide Web, have the right to use your dearly purchased media how you wish. You have the right to make personal copies of a DVD you already own. You have the right to record radio onto tape. And you have the right to put clips of music into YouTube videos. And you have the right to show movie clips to students for educational purposes. I'll finish with a quote from Grant Robertson. He said, "We digital citizens, commonly referred to by the vulgar term of consumers, have had enough of content lock-in. We've bought and rebought entertainment media, repackaged and regurgitated digital vomitus until we're blue in the face. We've been told time and time again that DRM is for our own protection, and we're finally and inconsolably fed up." And for those of you taking notes,